Hey guys, welcome back to Overtakes. This is Misfit.
And I'm Kel.
And we're going to give you our Stage 3 Week 2 review. This middle situation that we got overall.
It's pretty interesting. Well, I mean, in the stage right now and in the overall standings, Boston is sitting at 5th, Philly is sitting at 5th, and they could easily make that different. They could easily make a jump up. And I don't really see them falling. I see them staying right where they are or jumping up pretty quickly just because they drew a shit hand to start this stage. They got like 4 of the toughest matchups they could.
They almost had it worse than we did.
Right. Like they've won most of their games, but it's been 3-2, so their map differential hasn't been able to really climb. But they're winning games and they're winning close games, and they're making the most of clutch situations. And I think that's probably one of the scariest parts about that team is when they're in those dire circumstances, they're playing like we thought. The way that London played in the first stage is kind of how Philly's playing right now. Yeah,
they're clutching out a lot of wins. And guys like Snillo and Carpe, it's like when they need that just DPS guy to go off, one of those two does something.
Yep.
Carpe has a 3 kill.
EQO is one of those too.
Yeah, EQO as well. He clutches out a big Dragon Blade when they need it.
Mm-hmm. Snillo gets a pick on a support or gets a monstrous bomb.
Yeah, that drops a pulse bomb on somebody that gets the whole... I think he had one this week, in fact.
Yeah.
Where they were losing a fight, and it might have been against Valiant.
Yeah.
Just went in the back line, just dropped a pulse bomb on the back line. All right, we're back in it. They got clutch players on the team, but the thing is every team from 2 to 7 in the overall are within 3 to 4 games.
Yeah.
So 4 teams right now that are at 16 and 8.
Yeah.
1 loss, 1 win. Someone goes to 2nd, someone drops down to 7th.
I mean,
or 6th.
With the way that the map differential is right now, 1 win for the Valiant, and they jump from 6th all the way to 3rd.
Yep. And, if London loses another game, which is hard to imagine, but the way they're playing, I don't know, they could go up to 2nd.
Yeah.
And, London's got the biggest map differential other than New York.
Yeah.
Right now.
And they're the only one that's even, sniffing where New York is, but New York's on another hemisphere. Basically, New York is on the moon, and London is just kind of orbiting around Earth. Yeah. And then everyone else is like airplanes, and then Shanghai's in the river.
Yeah.
They're in the bottom of the ocean. Or they're in the Marianas Trench.
Yeah, Florida's in the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Dallas is just in a fucking lava pit somewhere on fire. Anyway, but you know what the weird team is in this whole thing? Is Houston.
Yeah. I don't know what to think about this team. And it's just
they played a lot of fact fiction.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, he looked really good.
He looked good.
But the only thing is, that doesn't really do you any good because you already have a pretty damn good main tank. Yeah. So now you have, basically all you've done is prove that, hey, you have 2 really good main tanks. You still don't have a tracer player.
Yeah, still. Again. And...
So frustrating.
Oh, man. And I understand you gotta teach Jake and Lynx or whoever, they have to pick it up. Someone's got to pick up the fucking tracer. But
having one of them play one map on her, and then the other one plays the other map, and it's just that's not working either. You need to just pick one of them, and one of those guys just needs to focus on playing tracer and just only play tracer for the next 2 months or whatever. Whatever you got to do.
Because you got to get back in this because they were so good.
Yeah. I really don't know what that team does because
I don't know much about the other guys on their roster. Clockwork, I thought that, he was okay. He obviously isn't their answer. Must be a little too, I think he's a little too passive for what they want from a tracer.
Right.
But, and then is it getting down to Jake's kind of the face of the team and we don't want to sit him down? Because, do you know what I mean? It's
Like, I get that Jake and Lynx are your guys, but at the same time, it's like, neither one of them play Tracer, and she is just, like, so 100% necessary at this point. And it's like, if you don't have a really good Tracer player, you're just sunk.
Yeah.
And right now, they're just taking on water, and, like, they can't bail it out fast enough. So they're just kind of sitting there, like, just kind of floating along, and that's about it.
Yeah,
that's
they
all
are.
they can do.
And what it is, too, is they're trying that slow down. Because, I mean, when you're running what they're running, you know, you got Lynxer probably going to play Widow. You got Jake pulling out his bag, usually a Junkrat or possibly a Soldier. He's okay on the Tracer, not great. So you're not running normal dive stuff against some of these teams that play high speed, fast pace, and come right the fuck at you. The defense things works a lot. But these guys figure it out way too fast.
Exactly.
And the teams that they're playing now, they're just, all right, we know on Anubis, first run on the first stage, they were great on Anubis.
Yeah.
They had that Orisa barrier, Lynxer behind that, Jake on the Junkrat. People know exactly what they're going to do. They run Tracer and Genji, and they harass the fuck out of that whole thing.
Yep.
And, you know, they bring in Moira as the support on that, on the attack, and Moira on that dive on Anubis. They just sink Houston now.
Yeah.
They gotta adapt a little bit more. They gotta get more, I don't want to say meta, but
they just need to have more flexibility than they have. And because, like, their style of play, while I'm totally on board with them trying to play that, it's not working right now. And they need to be able to play that type of style, but adapt it to what's happening. And they're just not able to do that.
Yeah. And it's
really hurting them.
Yeah, it's hurting them a lot.
And they're just kind of stuck in limbo.
And even in the Sombra meta, they don't have a Sombra player that's great. I mean, they play Raucus on him, he's okay. Jake's okay.
But then if you play Raucus on him, then you're losing your best Zen.
Yeah. And then what do you do then?
Yeah.
It's just, I think they understand their problem. It's just trying to fix it. They're just trying to work with what they got and what they're good at, which I can back.
Yeah, I can totally understand that, but it's like they gotta make a change, and at this point it's too late because they can't add anybody.
They gotta figure out, if you're not gonna run a Tracer, they gotta figure out how to do that, which I don't know how you're gonna do that.
Right.
Because the teams without a Tracer are the teams that are terrible.
Right.
Unless you're San Francisco, when you have 50 of them on your team. We just signed everybody that plays, maybe, you know, in the off season, San Francisco's gonna start dealing Tracer players.
Yeah.
And a Tracer for you, and a Tracer for you. Or they're just going to sign 3 more. I don't know.
Just all Tracer.
Trade them all to Dallas.
Tracer mains. Be like, oh, we're going back to no limits, competitive. And it's just going to be a team of 6 Tracers.
6 Tracers. Yeah. God. 6 Tracers, no limits.
Exactly.
No, I don't want that. Total mayhem, 6 Tracer. How about that?
Well, that kind of brings us into the other team that we want to talk about is the Shock, and they just better this stage. But I feel like they've been kind of underwhelming for what we were hoping they would show.
Yeah.
In this stage.
And the thing is everyone was hyped about Sinatra, and I was kind of on the fence about it because I'm like, you got good Tracer play now,
right?
Super was actually was a good addition.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 2-2. They're kind of feeling things. I think they're feeling things out a little bit with Super. He had a rough week. A little bit of a rough week. He got abused a little bit.
Yeah.
But, you know, their supports are really good. They have this unbelievable array of DPS guys. The tank thing is Super really... I mean, I've been all over him and saying how great he is. But is it working?
Right.
That's the thing. Well, I mean, it needs a little bit of time.
It needs some time, but at the same time, is his ability exposing other problems with their roster? I think that's more of the issue than anything, is now that they have that good tank play from him, all the other teams are figuring out, it's like, if we take him out, then it exposes everybody else, and then they just get really hurt. I feel like that's actually, it's almost made them slightly worse because he is that good. But now that he is that way, these other teams know that, okay, we're just gonna focus the shit out of him, and he's gone. And once he's gone, then everything else just kind of falls into chaos. Yeah, because
Sinatra's decent. Architect, this week they ran him on Sombra when you have the best Sombra player on your team in the league.
Well, I think that's another thing is they're trying to play all of their DPS, but it's like you have like they have like 5 really good DPS players, but it's like you need to pick like 2 or 3 of them and just roll with those guys and kind of let your other guys sit on the back burner. If you want to win games, that's the way you got to go.
Yeah, and they're in a different situation in Los Angeles, whose their DPS or the Gladiators, where their DPSs all have like these weird hero pools where you can rotate 4 of them around and it works.
Yeah,
they have 4 guys that are pretty much hit scan.
Yeah, you have 3 tracer specialists and Baby Bay.
Yeah, who's a Widow McCree kind of hit scan.
But then like some of your other your tracer people can also play those characters, and it's just like it's not the right mix to do that. You almost need to treat it like you need to take the guys that can do all of those things. You need to have basically you need to have Baby Bay in there at all times.
Yeah.
Or if not Baby Bay, then it needs to be Dante. And the rotation should really be Sinatra, Dante, and Baby Bay.
Yeah. Because Dante's Genji, I like Dante's Genji better than Baby Bay.
Yeah.
Baby Bay's good.
But if you need a Widowmaker or like really any hit scan,
and he's their best Pharah by far.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
But I mean, those 3 heroes, he should be in there more.
Yeah.
I understand you want to play all these other guys you got, but
he was not the problem. Putting him on the bench is not your solution.
And bringing an Architect, that's great. But do you need another Tracer? His Sombra's okay.
Right.
And he's another hit scan guy.
Exactly.
You kind of had that covered already, and their supports are fine, in my opinion. They're a couple of the best in the leagues. You're not even worrying about that.
Yeah, the supports are probably where they can be most consistent, and I think they need a diva player.
Yeah, Nevix is okay.
Nevix is okay, but he's not...
He's not on the level of what they need.
Exactly. He's not on the level of what they need, and I'm feeling like he's really not meshing all that well with Super either. Yeah. And that's kind of part of the problem.
Yeah, I think so. It's also rough because they are new. They're all new in this, like in the tank line there. Mm-hmm. And because when Nomi came in one of the matches they had, and him and Nevix looked fine.
Right.
I think Super and Nevix just got to work together a little bit more. But they need a little bit better diva play. Nevix just needs to step it up a little bit, and they need to figure out that back line.
Yeah.
Or not the back line, the DPS line.
Yeah.
The back line they don't have to worry about at all. Maybe they should just put fucking Nomi on Mercy, or Neptuno.
Yeah.
Put Neptuno on Mercy and just say, you're shooting.
Battle Mercy.
Battle Mercy. Just pop Valkyrie and just pretend like you're Pharah and just rain death.
Right. Oh man, I would love that.
Oh, that would be so awesome.
No, I mean we have already kind of talked about how we spent enough time on Dallas. We don't even talk about that anymore.
Well, Florida took a little step back, I think.
Yeah. Well, one thing that's really hurting Florida is
they had a shit draw in the beginning.
Yeah, they had a really shit draw to start, and then Logic's not being able to play and just not being in the right headspace to play.
Yeah, that
really hurts them a lot.
As good as Saya player is, Logic has a better chemistry with the team.
Yeah, he has a better chemistry with the team, and then you run into situations where you're trying to play Tavik on characters that he's not the best at, and you need, if you want the best out of Tavik, you need him to be playing Pharah, Widow,
Genji, Baby Bay's.
Exactly. And those are the only 3 characters he should play.
In fact, exactly like Baby Bay, because Baby Bay will pull out Soldier, and same thing with Tavik. Those are his best characters.
Yeah.
He's okay on Tracer.
Yeah.
But when you want Saya player in there to run Widow, his Tracer is okay. It just and then it gets into that whole. All right, so he's going to switch off Tracer. He's going to go to McCree, and he goes through the whole bag of bullshit.
Right.
And it's and not that he's bad at all those heroes, but when you start switching like that, sometimes it's bad.
But that being said, I do think I'm not as down on them as you are. I know you're just super frustrated with them, and I totally get that. But honestly, if Logix can come back and play at the level that he has been, I really think that they're going to be in good shape, and they could the potential to make a run at the end in stage 4 with the people that they have on that team right now. I really think that they have the roster is there to make a push to make that Stage 4 playoff.
Yeah, I think they could do that too. It's just, I wasn't overly impressed with Awesome Guy yet. He had some moments where he was good. He had some moments where he was bad, but it's more of the communication thing, I think, with that. And when you flip into a new main tank, that's rough, man. I've noticed that in this league. You know, a lot of people, the people that are doing this main tank rotation kind of thing a little bit.
Yeah, the only team that really, like,
New York
changed everything for the better is the Gladiators, where like you brought in a new main tank, and it completely changed everything. That's the only team that has worked for so far.
Because Dallas has changed their main tank about 70 times.
Right.
And, you know, even like when teams like they give a guy a rest, you can see the communication and shit's off.
Yeah.
The thing with Florida is they've had the same 6 guys playing together for like since the league started.
Yeah.
So when you get another guy in, I know they were saying it's easy to play with Awesome Guy, but you know what Swoosh is going to do.
Exactly.
You know he's going to do something crazy. First off, he's going to dive in somewhere where he's not. But you're ready for, like, Maniton's ready for that.
Yeah.
He's not ready for what Awesome Guy's going to do, and it's because he even looked a little off this week. But yeah, they'll pick it up. I had a meltdown in the Boston match.
Understand.
Oh man, I went off. You know, and then it was the coaching thing. I'm like, you didn't see this fucking shit coming, you know? I just went into total fan mode. I'm like, Jesus Christ. You got all these good players. You can't fucking do anything?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the back of my head, I'm realizing Boston is one of the better teams in the league, and they're just playing at a fucking different level right now, and I just didn't want to have any of it.
Yeah. But, I mean, really, the only other team to talk about is Shanghai, and it really just looks like they just do not have the talent on that team. And really the only 2 players on that team that are doing anything are Dia and Gagori. Yeah. Everyone else, I mean, there was some guys on there.
Sky's terrible.
Oh, Sky's bad.
He's like
Addo has been just putrid. Like, it's just bad. Like, they're looking at some of the check out some of the ratings that these guys have been posting. And I think Gagori and Dia were the only ones that had positive kill death, and they were the only ones that were above like 700 rating.
Yeah.
Everyone else was sub 700. That is
terrible.
Putrid. I think they had somebody at a 400.
Yeah, like
that is just pathetic.
Fearless, unfortunately, is a little too fearless.
Yeah.
On main tank, and I think that's killing Otto on what he's doing, because he's doing the because Dia's running your tracer. Yeah. So he's got, you know, and they're just so.
It's a really big mess.
And I don't know what to say about this team anymore, other than, you know, I want them to be good. You look at it, you're like, all right, they got all these people in, so we got all these new people in. Gagori seems to be paying off.
Yes.
That's said,
really the only one that is.
That being said, how hard is it to be better than MG on fucking Diva?
Right. True. This is true. He might as well have been me.
Yeah. Fearless has not proved to be as good as everyone was, and I don't know. It's just, I can't even speak because it's so frustrating. Yeah. I'm sure they're still having communication issues with the language barriers and all that. But like everybody says, if you need healing, there are the buttons.
Yeah.
And it speaks in your language.
Right.
You know, follow me, group up, hi. It's a perfect day for mayhem. Right. Anyone wants some barbecue? Whatever. I wonder what that one sounds like in Korean. I'm gonna have to check that out.
I'd like to hear that.
Speaking of, they never play any off like things like Junkrat or anything like that. Getting into their thing.
No, they really don't.
But every once in a while, it's like they try to do something different. When they do something different, they play like Soldier.
Yeah.
It's like they are trying to dumb it down so much to just like, all right, we're doing dive and we're doing counter dive. And that's kind of it.
Yeah, that's really it.
And it's, you know, sometimes bust some different stuff out. Like, try something different. It might work. Like when they were forced to play triple tank.
Yeah. And it's, I can't figure out if it's incompetence. It just feels like it's just incompetence from top to bottom in that entire organization. They just have no clue how to put together a proper team and recruit good, like, high quality player, like talented players. I think is one of their biggest issues. They're lacking talented quality players. And I mean, losing Undead really sunk them even further. but at the same time,
yeah,
they still weren't winning with him, so it didn't matter.
It didn't matter. It's like when the Browns had lost Gordon.
Right.
Well, they were 1-16 with him, or 1-15 with him. Shanghai hasn't won a match with him without him. There's a certain point though, like there's a lot of pressure on them to win a game now too.
Yeah,
I will give it that. You know, I think I saw somewhere that no one. I think in esports has had this long of a losing streak, let alone, I mean, obviously, cataclysmically bad in this league.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, the pressure is getting to them too, you know, and other teams don't want to lose to them.
Right.
At this point. They're
right.
like, fuck no, I don't want to be the first team to lose to them.
Nope.
That's what, like, back to the Browns.
Yeah.
The last 4 games they played, they got absolutely pummeled because no one wanted to be the first win.
Right, exactly.
No one wanted anywhere near that. All right, guys, that's going to be it for the review for this week. So don't forget to hit a like, subscribe, join up our High Noon. Remember, we get up to 200 subscribers. We will get a prize for that Stage 4, whoever wins Stage 4. Don't forget to join us on Twitter, Twitch, and we'll come back at you later on with previews for next week.
Previews and picks for week 3.
Yes, getting deep in it. All right, guys, we will see you later.
See you guys.